Hey guys! So I know it's been a while, but I was on my annual leave and I went back home to Sri Lanka, and now I'm finally back in Sydney and I've had the time to finally make a video for you guys. So first of all, Happy New Year to all of you. I hope your 2023 is already starting out to be great. I hope you guys have been doing well and enjoying the holiday season. And for those of you that are new here, my name is Amanya. I'm a Sri Lankan girl and I'm currently working in Sydney, Australia as a junior doctor. So if you do like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, follow me on my social media, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. So this video, it's about things I wish I knew before I go into medical school. Personally, I didn't really have anyone to get some advice from before I started medical school. So I think it's a good idea for like anyone who's planning on applying to medical school or anyone who's considering it to watch this video and get an idea about, you know, what they should know about before starting medical school. So let's just get on to the video. I think the first one I would like to talk about, and the first one I actually didn't know much about before, was how different it is going to be compared to school. I know it's kind of silly of me that I didn't really think of how much of a difference it's gonna be, but it was quite a big difference, like for me at least, because when I was in high school, I was like, oh, you know what, you have teachers teaching, you have tuition classes to go to, you have all these books and stuff that you go home and read, and all these notes that the teacher reads out that you write. And you know, it's pretty straightforward. You're not really on your own. But in medical school, and I think university overall, you're kind of on your own, because most of the time all the university lectures that you go to are packed with people. There's like 100 people in a lecture theater and there's one lecturer teaching you, and you don't really get that one-on-one attention, and it's really like, well, how I would describe it best is, it's you have to self-learn, you have to self-study, you have to do a lot of things on your own, finding resources. Of course they give you like guides and everything, and there's no one really pushing you or monitoring you and telling you your marks are not good, you need to improve on this, or you're not doing this well, you need to improve on that, which is what I was used to at school. And in university, when I started, I was like, oh, so no one's gonna really teach me this other than that. And you can contact the lecturers, of course, you can get in touch with them and ask them to explain stuff to you, but you're basically alone and you don't really have tuition classes or anything to go to. So having a good study group with a bunch of friends is one of the best things you can do, because that way you feel like you're supported by people and all of you can share your thoughts and your ideas, your study techniques. So yeah, so that's what I do recommend if you're coming into medical school. Know that it is quite different to school. You are not really spoon-fed anything, you're on your own and you gotta figure out things on your own, and you've got to push yourself like on your own. There's no one to come behind you telling you do this, do that, do this. So coming on to number 2, that is, do not do medicine if that is not something you are passionate about. I've known people who started medicine just because their parents told them to, or just because they were not sure what they're gonna do, and they eventually ended up either not liking it or stopping halfway or not pursuing a career as a doctor after finishing medical school. And that's completely fine as well, because it's just a job and it's just a degree, and your life is not over just because you don't like it or you don't want to do it anymore. But the point is that doing it for someone else when you have something else that you'd like to do, or if you're not sure of what you'd like to do, is gonna be a waste of your time, a waste of your energy and your youth if you're doing medicine, because as you know, it's about 5 years minimum, and therefore making a decision like whether you want to do medicine or not, I think is very important. And I think for that you should do your research, talk to people in medical school, get an idea about what happens after you're done with medical school, because the journey actually doesn't end after medical school. Things there's more things to think about once you're done. Once you have a job, you need to think about specializing, you need to think about all these stuff. And so don't do medicine just because you think that your mom wants you to do it, or you know your cousin's a doctor or something like that. Just don't do it because of that. So think wisely, do your research, make sure you know that you want to do medicine before you do it. I don't know if a lot of you know, but there's something called imposter syndrome, and that is something I related to so much getting into medical school. Because if you were good in school, in high school, and you got good results and everything, and you felt, oh, you know, I'm kind of smart, I'm doing this well, you come into medical school and there's all these smart people, and suddenly you're like, oh my god, I feel so stupid. Like, that was me. Honestly, when I started medical school and when I started like going into hospital for placements, it is something really common that people experience, because there's so many smart people around you that kind of feel like, do I really belong here? Is this really my place? Am I really smart enough for this? You know, you get those feelings, and that is completely normal, and it is completely okay to feel like that. I felt like that certain times even when I started working. But remember that when you get into medical school, you worked hard for it, you got the results you needed to get in, so you're not less than anyone else, and if they can do it, so can you. Just put in your 100% effort, make sure you don't have any regrets, and just continue to do your work as you can. Don't compare yourself to other people. There's always going to be someone smarter than you, so do not compare yourself to people, and don't feel like you don't belong there. So yeah, that's my big sister advice to you. Lots of people have this idea that when you're studying medicine, you don't have a social life at all. That is not true. You can have a social life, especially if you know how to balance your studies with your with the rest of your life, because you should not make your life just revolve around medicine. You should know that that's gonna burn you out, and that's gonna make you miserable. There's so many people who do medicine but do so many other things, so you can definitely have a social life outside of medical school. Just make sure that you balance yourself, you prioritize your studies, because that is obviously the most important thing to get through the degree. But make sure that you don't burn yourself out by just focusing on your studies, because life is way too short for that. Make sure you enjoy other things in life. Make sure you do things that you are passionate about. Have some hobbies, go out with friends, make the most of it, especially when you start university, because that's a whole new experience. Overall, that is the best advice I can give you with regards to that. The last and I think most important advice I can give you guys is to just be kind to yourself and don't put yourself down, because at the end of the day, this is a degree. It's not the end of the world if you don't pass an exam. It's not the end of the world if you decide this is not for me. That is completely fine, because you should know that your mental health and your happiness matters a lot. Life is more than just about medical school. There's so many more other things in life that you can focus on. Just make sure that you take care of yourself. That is so important, because having good friends is one of the best ways to do that. And like I said, having a balance in your life is also another best way to do that. And you've got this, and I believe in you, because I always say, if I can do this, so can you. So don't be hard on yourself. Make sure you're kind to yourself. Make sure you surround yourself with people who love you and that people you love, because that's really important. So I think that's basically all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to keep it short, and I hope the little pieces mixing up my words. So I hope the little pieces of advice I gave you guys was good, and I would if there's anything else I can think of, I'll definitely share with you guys. But for those of you who applying to medical school, best of luck. And for those of you sitting your exams, good luck to you guys as well. I'm sure you'll do great. Believe in yourself, and you got this. And again, if you do like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my social media. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.